Michael's love for Diana started as a childhood crush, but developed into a teenage infatuation. They only became close when Michael came of age. His brother Jermaine mentioned in his book, "I know Michael has always loved Diana. From when he was a small boy, he knew he wouldn't be able to act on his love for her until he became an adult." By the late 1970s, Diana Ross and Michael Jackson flirted openly in public, and numerous reports at the time speculated whether the two were having a romance. But was there any truth to this? Did Michael Jackson's obsession with Ross extend into a full-blown affair? Or did the two stars use the speculation to benefit both their careers? Michael Jackson first met Diana Ross at age 10 when he and the other 4 members of the Jackson 5 auditioned for Motown Records, where Diana was the label's brightest star. While paving her own career outside her Supremes fame of the 1960s, Diana first saw Michael and his brothers performing at a charity show. Although untrue, the media was fed the story that Diana Ross had discovered the Jackson 5 and used her connections to propel them into superstardom. When the Jacksons signed with Motown and moved to Los Angeles, Michael lived with Diana. He would tease his brothers, call her his girlfriend, and wouldn't let anyone near her. In 1977, Michael Jackson accepted the role of the Scarecrow in the film adaptation of The Wiz. This was largely thanks to his longtime friend Diana Ross, who was cast as Dorothy. However, it was speculated that Ross would only get the role if she could convince Michael, then a teen idol, to join the cast, since at 33 she was considered too old for the part. Film critic Pauline Coyle described Ross's determination to get the movie made as perhaps the strongest example of sheer will in film history. Michael's mother, Catherine, once said, "When Diana Ross was named to play Dorothy, Michael had further incentive to land a role in the movie. He'd been in love with her ever since he and his brothers had been her house guests. You're not pretty until you start looking like Diana," he would tease LaToya and Janet. Biographer J. Randy Taraborelli recounted that while filming The Wiz, Michael and Diana would often go out at night to parties at New York's Studio 54. One of Diana's assistants claimed he had trouble reaching them one morning because they were late for filming, only to discover they were together in Michael's apartment, with Diana apparently having spent the night there. Later, Diana was overheard telling friends, "Well, I'll tell you one thing, Michael definitely isn't gay." When asked about it, Michael replied, "You'd have to ask her that." This flirtation continued for years as Michael's infatuation grew, but Diana never took the relationship seriously because of their 13-year age gap. While this was never an issue for Michael, Diana struggled with the taboo, especially given their history when Michael was a child. She worried about how it would affect her public image and career, as she was fiercely ambitious. After a photo session with Diana Ross and photographer Todd Gray, Michael ordered 2 large prints of every picture. "2 of every single one? That's about 144 prints," Gray asked. Michael replied, "Yes, I can count. I want 1 set for myself and 1 for Diana." Todd, this is magic. In Diana Ross's 1981 TV special, Michael was heavily featured. They performed together 3 times, and Michael was the only person besides Diana to have a solo performance. While introducing him, Diana called Michael her baby, and the two hugged repeatedly. A mini interview between them showed them openly flirting and calling each other sexy. In Ebony magazine that same year, Diana said, "I'm crazy about Michael, and I love him a lot. He's been my inspiration. He's a very gentle, wonderful human being. So whenever I can be around him, I like it. His aura is only about love." Diana's warm and flirty nature often caused fans to misinterpret her affection as sexual. For Michael, however, this obsession deepened. He even created a shrine dedicated to Diana in his family home. Yet Diana wasn't interested in a romantic relationship and often tried to gently let him down. On the 1981 Oscars red carpet, when asked about their relationship, Diana laughed and said, "He's going to play my son," before walking away with Michael. Still, Michael's naive belief in their bond made him think they were destined to be together. In one interview, he said, "Diana Ross is everything you could wish for. I love her. I hope she marries me. She always tells me her most private secrets. That's the kind of relationship we have. Michael was devastated when Diana met her second husband, Norwegian shipping magnate Arne Næss Jr., in 1985. The two married the following year, and Michael canceled his attendance at the wedding at the last minute. He later admitted, "When I heard Diana Ross was getting married, I was happy for her because I knew it would make her very joyous. Still, it was hard for me, her marrying a man I'd never met. I wanted her to be happy, but I have to admit I was a bit hurt and a little jealous." At the 1986 American Music Awards, Michael arrived halfway through the show, accompanied by Elizabeth Taylor, who many saw as Diana's replacement. Observers noted that he appeared visibly upset and distant toward Ross, celebrating her achievements only reluctantly, despite the success of "We Are the World." Michael also wrote several songs inspired by Diana Ross while working on his Bad and Dangerous albums. Jermaine revealed that 1992's Remember the Time was written with Diana in mind. The one great love that, as far as Michael was concerned, escaped him. In 1987, Michael released Dirty Diana on the Bad album. While the song was officially about groupies, fans speculated it was also a dig at Ross, expressing his frustration over her leading him on before marrying another man. Ross's marriage to Næss was far from happy, despite producing 2 sons. They lived on separate continents, with Diana unwilling to leave her children, family, and career in the US. She admitted she could not stand the cold and dark of Norway. Michael, meanwhile, remained devoted. In his autobiography, Moonwalk, he confessed, "I've always loved Diana, and I always will." By the early 1990s, their contact became less frequent. Diana focused on family, while Michael's career demanded constant touring. In 1991, she told the Rock Hill Herald, "When he wants to see me, he sees me. When he doesn't, he closes the door. There's no reaching him, there's no finding him. He's just this elusive love out there." Even in later years, Diana always held a special place in Michael's heart. In 1995, while hospitalized, he asked his wife Lisa Marie Presley to leave his room before Diana arrived, showering Ross with affection and gifts. After Michael's death in 2009, Diana Ross was named in his will as the person he wished his children to go to in the event of his mother Catherine's passing. It was a final act of loyalty, reflecting the deep, complicated bond they shared, a mixture of friendship, mentorship, admiration, and unrequited love.